Modern distractions hijack the brain's reward system, making discipline painful and avoidance deeply rewarding. Neuroscience explains how constant stimulation reshapes motivation, effort, perception, and emotional resistance over time. The video reveals this pattern is reversible through neuroplasticity and deliberate behavioral change processes. With proper understanding, effort itself can become satisfying rather than something the brain avoids. Discipline fails today because reward pathways are trained toward comfort, convenience, and instant pleasure. This training creates resistance toward focus, patience, and sustained effort, despite ambitious goals alone. Understanding the reward system removes shame and reframes discipline as a trainable skill gradually. Rewiring begins by changing what the brain repeatedly associates with reward and safety cues. The brain constantly evaluates actions by comparing required effort against expected rewards levels internally. High effort with uncertain outcomes triggers avoidance through ancient survival programming mechanisms inside brain. Low-effort activities offering guaranteed pleasure receive immediate priority from neural systems within humans. This efficiency model once protected survival but now clashes with modern environments daily constantly. Technology exploits this wiring by providing rewards without effort, uncertainty, or patience required today. As rewards become easier, the brain devalues effort-based tasks progressively over time naturally. This imbalance makes discipline feel inefficient, while distraction feels biologically rational to the brain. Rewiring begins by restoring effort, reward balance through intentional repeated choices made daily, consistently. Dopamine drives anticipation and motivation rather than pleasure itself within the brain's circuitry system. Activities like scrolling exploit dopamine by offering unpredictable rewards that keep attention engaged constantly. Easy dopamine floods cause receptor downregulation, making motivation weaker and boredom stronger over time. When receptors dull, normal effort feels unrewarding, even if tasks once felt meaningful before. The brain then seeks more stimulation to reach previous excitement and motivation levels again. This cycle explains chronic restlessness, low drive, and resistance toward disciplined, focused work patterns. Excess easy dopamine shifts preferences away from effort growth and long-term satisfaction pursuits. Understanding dopamine correctly reveals why discipline disappears without changes to stimulation habits over time. When the brain adapts to constant stimulation, ordinary tasks begin feeling boring, unrewarding daily. Reading, exercising, or focused work cannot compete with instant gratification sources anymore today constantly. This difficulty is not laziness, but a tolerance effect similar to addiction patterns forming. High stimulation resets reward thresholds, making normal effort feel disproportionately exhausting for the brain. As tolerance grows, the brain demands stronger input before releasing motivation signals internally again. Discipline feels painful because it no longer triggers sufficient dopamine responses during daily tasks. Without recalibration, effort-based activities remain overshadowed by easier, rewarding alternatives available everywhere online. Understanding this mechanism shifts blame away from character toward neurochemical adaptation processes happening continuously. The brain rewires itself continuously based on repeated behaviors, choices, and environmental cues daily. Every decision strengthens either distraction pathways or discipline pathways, shaping future behavior automatically responses. Change is inevitable because neural circuits adapt regardless of intention, awareness, or belief patterns. Direction, however, is chosen by what actions are repeated consistently under resistance daily life. Neuroplasticity means the brain cannot remain neutral toward habits over time without repeated exposure. Each repeated behavior acts like a vote, reinforcing one identity over another daily consistently. Distraction and discipline compete constantly because both seek dominance within reward systems inside brains. Understanding plasticity empowers people to deliberately train preferences through consistent effort over long periods. A dopamine detox does not eliminate dopamine, which is essential for survival and motivation. It temporarily removes hyperstimulating artificial rewards that overwhelm natural reward sensitivity daily. Social media, junk food gaming, and constant notifications are common sources targeted first. Reducing stimulation allows dopamine receptors to gradually regain sensitivity and responsiveness over time. This recalibration makes simple effort-based activities feel more engaging and rewarding again. Detox focuses on subtraction, not deprivation, punishment, or extreme behavioral restriction methods. The goal is restoring balance between effort, reward, and attention control systems naturally. Understanding this prevents misuse of detox as avoidance or self-punishment disguised as discipline. During early days, restlessness, irritability, and anxiety commonly appear as stimulation decreases sharply. These sensations represent withdrawal and signal the brain adjusting its reward sensitivity levels. The nervous system protests because familiar dopamine sources are suddenly unavailable temporarily. Many quit here, misinterpreting discomfort as failure rather than adaptation occurring internally. This phase tests commitment because relief seems immediately accessible through old habits again. Understanding withdrawal normalizes discomfort and prevents premature abandonment of the process. The reset period is temporary but essential for meaningful long-term neural recalibration success. Staying present through discomfort teaches the brain that effort does not equal danger anymore. High dopamine activities like social media, junk food, or gaming should be removed temporarily. These activities overwhelm reward systems and crowd out effort-based satisfaction signals over time. Removal must be paired with replacing habits that require patience, focus, and physical presence. Reading, walking, journaling, or exercising without stimulation retrain reward pathways gradually over time consistently. These slower activities feel difficult initially, but rebuild tolerance for effort and focused work. Replacement teaches the brain that reward follows effort rather than instant consumption over time. Consistency matters more than intensity because repetition updates neural expectations reliably over long periods. Remove and replace transforms discipline from force into a satisfying feedback loop over time. Pleasure is immediate, external, and short-lived, delivering quick spikes without lasting fulfillment inside. Satisfaction is delayed, internal, and enduring, created through effort, progress, and meaningful achievement daily. Pleasure fades quickly, requiring repetition, while satisfaction grows stronger with consistent, disciplined action time. The brain adapts to satisfaction by releasing steadier dopamine responses over longer durations consistently. Discipline builds satisfaction by linking effort with progress, competence, and internal rewards over time. Over time, satisfaction becomes more motivating than pleasure because it stabilizes attention and focus. This shift explains why disciplined people prefer effortful tasks once recalibration completes successfully internally. Understanding this difference reframes discipline as rewarding rather than restrictive or joyless by design. Choosing effort activates the prefrontal cortex, strengthening planning, patience, and self-control abilities daily. Instant gratification strengthens impulsive systems, reducing foresight, increasing reactivity, and undermining long-term goals. Repeated discipline trains neural circuits to delay rewards, tolerate discomfort, and maintain focus consistently. Each delayed choice reinforces executive control, making future disciplined decisions easier with practice daily. This process shifts default preferences away from impulses toward purposeful, sustained action over time. As delays lengthen, the brain learns patience, predicts safety, progress, and reward over time. Delayed gratification strengthens identity as someone capable of control, perseverance, and growth through effort. Over time, discipline becomes intrinsically motivating, replacing cravings with calm confidence and stable focus. After recalibration, attention span increases, clarity improves, and mental energy stabilizes across daily activities. Difficult tasks begin feeling attractive because effort now triggers reward rather than resistance internally. Focus deepens, allowing longer periods of uninterrupted work without mental fatigue or emotional exhaustion. Energy becomes consistent, reducing crashes and procrastination throughout the day during demanding cognitive tasks. Emotional regulation improves, making stress manageable and setbacks easier to navigate with resilience daily. As rewards rebalance, discipline feels natural, sustainable, and aligned with personal values over time. The brain begins preferring effortful pursuits over passive consumption automatically by updated reward predictions. Rewiring produces lasting changes that support growth, confidence, and self-trust long-term consistently. Willpower is unreliable, so environments must be designed to reduce friction and temptation daily. When distractions are harder to access, productive actions become easier to start consistently daily. Removing notifications, clutter, and unnecessary choices conserves energy and protects focus naturally every day. Environment shapes behavior more powerfully than intentions, motivation, or discipline alone over time consistently. Social circles influence dopamine baselines, making discipline easier when shared collectively with others consistently. Being around focused people normalizes effort and raises standards without force or pressure daily. Designing physical, digital, and social spaces aligns behavior with long-term goals more reliably. When environment supports discipline, self-control becomes a default rather than struggle over time. True freedom is control over attention, effort, and choices, rather than endless comfort options. Endless comfort creates dependence, distraction, and dissatisfaction, while discipline builds autonomy and clarity. Discipline trains the brain to choose long-term benefit over short-term relief consistently. This ability creates confidence because actions align with values, goals, and self-respect daily. With discipline, effort feels voluntary, purposeful, and empowering rather than forced or restrictive. Freedom grows as impulse control strengthens, and attention becomes stable and directed intentionally. Discipline removes chaos by replacing reactive behavior with deliberate, intentional action daily. Through discipline, people gain freedom to build meaningful lives rather than escape discomfort. This process is not a one-time fix, but a continuous training of brain reward systems. Discipline becomes enjoyable when effort consistently produces reward, safety, and satisfaction signals internally. The process begins by removing the largest source of empty dopamine temporarily for 7 days. This pause allows the brain to reset sensitivity and restore motivation toward effortful tasks. During this time, discomfort signals adjustment rather than failure or weakness in character. Consistency matters more than perfection because repetition reshapes preferences through neuroplasticity mechanisms. Discipline grows naturally when the brain relearns that effort leads to reward and control. Lasting freedom emerges when attention, effort, and reward systems align through daily intentional practice.